Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. To be human, it's been said, is the crown of creation. I have heard we've been given dominion, blessed with the power of imagination. We can love with our hearts, we can dream with our mind. Every day a new start. We're born for this time, 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 time. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. To feel love and compassion for life and its diversity. To witness the drama unfolding. To sense the pain and beauty. We can love with our hearts. Can we dream with our minds? Every day a new start. Born for this time, 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 time. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. And behold, I have given unto you every herb-bearing seed on the face of the earth, and to you they shall be as meat. And the leaves of the tree for the healing of the nations. We can love with our heart, can dream with our mind. Every day a new start. We're born for this time. Time, time, time. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. To be human. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands. The crown of creation. Walk on 2 feet, work with both hands.
Yeah, Clandeichen. Good morning. Sorry it took us a little bit to get on the air. We had a little addressing problem on our system trying to get into the stream. But we're here. Finally, yes, we're here. And that was Song for a Nation from Clandeichen. They're going to be performing at the Fire in the Barn. And before that, we heard International Herb from Culture. Dude, that's the song. And our opening song, of course, from Human and the Human Revolution called Breathe. So good morning. Take a deep breath now that we're on the air, finally, after weeks and weeks and weeks of not streaming. We are so grateful to everybody who's worked so hard to make that happen for us. And we thank you all for joining us and for your loyalty and your patience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because we have been struggling through these technical problems over the last few weeks. And bottom line is, if we'd had our own IT guy, probably we would have been up sooner.
I did my best.
You are a great IT guy.
Well,
but there are limitations.
Yes, well, we know that. What happened, folks, is that our streaming channel, which is a third-party company, upgraded their server and actually changed service companies, the servers company, whatever. What?
Whatever it was a pain in the butt.
And what we
crazy.
were not told was that there were truly a high-def servicing company, and our stream, once they went back online, was too slow for their server, which usually is the opposite. It's usually too fast. But in this case, the speed rate and the quality was way below the server's capability of handling, so we had to go to maximum high def. So as you're viewing this, I don't care if you're on your computer or laptop right now, you should see a significant increase in our quality.
That's the good thing.
Right. Now, because of the high speed and because our internet connection here, we may have a little bit of buffering on your end, but it'll be very minimal.
Hopefully.
And
let us know if it's not. If you're having issues, you can always contact us through our Facebook pages, Lake County Magazine Radio Show, Lake County Magazine, or LCM TV. We are there on Facebook almost 24/7. And certainly we're ready and willing to help you if you're having any technical problems getting our signal.
Plus, I'm watching our own video on my laptop, so to see if I see any buffering going on. We'll see what's going on. So otherwise, we are back live with better quality, faster
Very
streaming.
Excited, yes.
Yeah, it is. Because
Feels
now
so
we
good.
can move on with our other program we have scheduled.
And you don't miss any of our rants.
Do we have any today?
I got plenty.
Oh, we got plenty, folks.
You know I got
But listen,
plenty.
the rants we have today are positive to the public,
Yes.
especially the citizens of Clear Lake.
Yes.
And we'll go through that in a little detail.
Yes.
But we have a lot of good
In
things
a lot
to
of
talk about.
So we can review.
Yeah, we can do that. Let me just minimize.
Get your notes.
Get my notes, which are right here.
Because I don't take notes, so you got to be my memory too.
It's tough being a co-host and the husband at the same time because I get delegated all the grunt work.
Grunt work.
Yeah, grunt work. So
I do my fair share of the grunt work.
no comment.
I do.
Yes, you do.
I don't do my fair share of the housework, but I do my fair share of grunt work.
Never mind. Anyway, folks.
Yes, we can review.
We may have a guest today, Dr. Z.
Yeah, Dr. Z might be stopping by, I'm hoping. Megan won't be in today. She's not feeling good.
Sorry to
but
hear
we
that.
have enough topics to keep the next couple hours pretty well filled. I think.
Exactly. So anyway, we had a kind of a quiet week except for Saturday.
Yes.
Remember?
Me? No.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, short-term memory loss. You got to expect that from me.
Well, at 2-ish, we attended a barbecue.
Oh my God!
There you go.
Saturday was
See,
such a
folks,
great day. Oh
There are certain words that trigger
Saturday
the
was
memory.
party. Okay, first of all, let's start with the first thing we were supposed to go to and we didn't make it to.
you're right.
Shady Acres, and then we found out it was really at Tatanka Land.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Bunny
that.
told us that when we got there.
Jeez.
And what it was a really nice vintage trailer show. I'm very upset that we missed it. I guess they pass through a couple times a year, so we'll be able to see it again. But they had all kinds of really interesting vintage trailers and camper vans and all that kind of stuff. So it would have been fun, but we thought it was at Shady Acres, and then we couldn't find Shady Acres
Yeah,
because
wrong
we'd
side
never
of the
been
highway.
there. We were on the wrong side of the highway. So, Lisa, I apologize to you because I have never been over to your place, and we couldn't find it. So
And it
now
didn't
I
matter
think we
anyway,
know where it is,
because it was
and
at
it didn't
Tatanka.
matter anyway,
Right.
right? Now I think we know where it is. So when you do events in the future, but for some reason when the event went around, I never noticed that it was actually at Tatanka Land.
Well.
So I screwed that up.
We live and learn.
So then we ended up over at Sandy's place, and we had a great little barbecue with our friend Carlos and Marla and Mark and his
Chris.
partner Chris and
Crystal showed up late.
Crystal and a friend of Sarah's. Sandy's was there.
Don't forget Mark's dad.
And yes, trying to remember. What's your dad's name, Mark? Ron. That's what was in my head. Good. See, my memory's not that bad. So, yeah, it was lovely, lovely day.
It was.
Beautiful weather.
Beautiful out
She
there.
has such a great little spot in the avenues. I love the avenues. You all can say what you want about the avenues, but to me, the avenues reminds me of the neighborhood I grew up in Pennsylvania, and how everybody kind of likes. And not likes, but knows everybody else on your street, and it's a real neighborhood.
And her
feel.
area was actually very
It's a
pleasant.
nice area.
Yeah.
It was very well kept up. Everybody kept their houses nice, and we were just happy to be there. And then from there, we went to the American Legion,
Yeah.
and we had the crab feed with our good friends Bunny and Robert from
Yep, that was
Tatanka Land,
fun.
and Dan Griffin and his wife Rosalind, and that was a full sold out house.
It was.
Yes. And they had a lot of raffles and stuff. I didn't win anything.
You didn't win anything.
Anything. That's unusual for me, too.
Yeah,
I always
well.
usually walk out with something.
And can I give him my opinion of that?
Nicely. I would have been happier if it
Yep.
was a hot crab rather than cold crab.
Exactly. You know,
Because you don't do melted butter with cold crab.
no cocktail sauce. Or
You have cocktail
horseradish.
sauce. Yeah.
But
That was just.
you know, the food was good. It was all you could eat. So and they weren't not fulfilling that need. But I was on the impression it was going to be hot crab, which I thoroughly enjoy. If I'm going
Yeah.
to eat cold crab, it's going to be as part of a salad or maybe a crab cake or something like that. So I was a little bit disappointed on that. But, you know, they did what they were supposed to do. It was just my misunderstanding that I thought it was going to be hot. What can I tell you? So that was a good joke. No, it was good. It was fun. We were there for probably 2 hours, and Robert and Bonnie just
Oh
kept
my
on.
God, we had the funnest time. They are such nice people.
They are. And Bunny
And it was nice getting to know Roz and Dan, too.
Yeah, Bunny was on a roll that night. We had a lot of private conversations while you were talking to everyone else.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Should I be jealous?
I know. It was intellectual conversations, which,
Oh, really?
yes,
You mean you actually have those?
it's hard at home, but yes, I do otherwise.
And what is crawling on the floor across our studio?
Looks like a cockroach to me.
At first I thought it was Sydney, and I realized there's no tail.
Okay, folks, we just had about a half a
But
second.
there is
of
a
buffering.
butt crack.
Oh, you know, I can't even edit that out now.
Oh, that's too bad.
TMI
I don't
once
think
again.
anybody cares.
Anyways, I was saying we just had about a half a second buffering, but
Oh,
that-
did we?
Yeah, but I mean it was like split seconds.
Good.
So
Okay. So,
that's what we get for doing
but
it.
our internet here is fairly fast too.
Yeah, we're at a 1020 by 960 resolution, along with
See,
the
I hope the
1024.
picture's better, and I hope it was worth all this waiting to get a better signal, so you guys can enjoy
Right now, the only thing we need to do
the
extra.
show. I see it's buffering
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
The only thing we need to do now is actually get the internet speed increased. But unfortunately, MediaCom and their business rates is quite substantial compared to residential. So
Yeah.
once
Well,
we get
we're
some
still in negotiation with them anyway because of
Right.
what's going to happen with hopefully this show. I
which
mean,
we
this
haven't made that
station.
announcement yet. So
No, we haven't. So I'm not going to
no,
jinx
don't
us.
jinx us.
I just want to. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to upgrade at that point.
We will, yes, but then we'll be able to get some advertising dollars coming in and be
Yes.
able to substantiate the cost.
Yes, that's good.
So anyway, let's see what else on Sunday. Oh no, after the Crab Fest, what do we do?
Oh, then we went up to the Riviera Hills Country Club to see Blue 62
Boy, are they good.
and our good friends Pat Gleason and Joni Lane, who does a show here on Mondays called A Positive Light,
Which is
3
also
o'clock,
live.
also live broadcast, and repeat on the archives.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was fun. We ran into Beth and Sonny
Yep.
and his friend and her friend Tom, and we just had a great
Yeah,
time.
tell you how good the band was. I've never seen the Riviera Country Club Lounge
That
so
packed.
packed.
Yeah, people
Matter
were
of fact-
lined up outside the room.
Yeah, and since I don't do well in crowds like that, I was getting a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't really crazy.
yeah.
And you know that I'm going to be frank and put it out on the
I'll do
line.
it.
The service there sucks.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, I mean they don't look out for you. We were there for how long before they brought extra chairs in?
Probably about
And you were sitting
15,
on my lap.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and you were sitting on my lap.
Yeah, what a thrill.
Well, lucky you don't weigh anything. It was so
$1.30. What
easy.
can I tell you? But you know they never have cocktail servers in the lounge. And one gentleman came up to us, handed us a check. I'm like, no, it's not ours. And then we said we would like to.
And he was gone.
And he was gone in a flash.
Well, I figured that out. That was the restaurant. It wasn't the bar.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there were two bartenders, but there was no one out there serving, so we had to kind of elbow our way through the crowd to get to the bar. My beautiful wife got me a beer. Sierra Nevada?
It was.
Yes. And she got herself a cup of coffee.
Oh my God.
That coffee was left over from about 3 weeks ago.
It could have stood up without the cup, pretty
And,
much.
so, you know, it's a great venue. They usually have some really good music up there, but, you know, they're losing a lot of sales and a lot of profit by the quality of service they're providing. So, you know, getting one or two people out in the crowds taking orders and serving the orders, I'm sorry for the $5, $6, $7 an hour that they get paid plus their tips. They're losing a lot of money. But it's not my
Okay,
job, man. I don't
getting a
manage the
report
place.
on our signal.
Yep.
They're saying that because it's such a high resolution, our website does not allow for full screen viewing.
Let me double check.
Okay. So it's only showing a
Yep,
good quality.
sorry. I'm at full
Peter
screen.
just enlarged it, Bruno. It must be your computer.
Bruno, get a life,
He said,
will you?
good quality. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disclose who was talking. I let the cat out of the bag. But he does know what he's talking about. He said it's a 400 by 600 window. He has fast internet, and it's buffering every 5
Are
minutes.
you sure you're not double-clicking on your screen?
Wait. He says, I have fast internet, and it's also buffering every 5 minutes for a second or two, which is what we're seeing, right?
But look at that quality of that screen.
Yeah, that looks
That's
good
awesome.
for a full screen. That's
So,
not bad. It's possible to find a way to do an auto resolution like YouTube offers or Netflix. That would work better for all parties. Well, thank you for the feedback, Bruno. And when you're ready to come down and set that up for us, we'll be really happy.
I was going to say, Bruno, do I tell you how to run the city of Clear Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Actually.
Love you, Bruno.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
stay tuned, Bruno. We got
And
some good stuff.
Now,
about
what
the
are you
city.
saying about double-clicking to enlarge the screen? What do you have to do?
Okay, all I do is put your mouse on the actual video.
Yeah.
You know, you actually put it on my wife or myself just to make fun of us.
Put it
and
up your
double
nose.
click.
Okay, so he's saying double-click on the screen and it enlarges on our
And
computer.
Bruno doesn't have Apple, does he?
I
I don't think so.
don't think so. No, he wouldn't
So-
probably be able to watch us because Apple doesn't do.
No, on the computer.
Silverlight.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
Yeah,
So,
and that's something else we're trying to get rid of is the Silverlight
yeah,
thing.
and our server people are doing that. Unfortunately, this is the reason why they haven't done that yet, is that they have to get licensing rights from Microsoft for the Flash program that allows it to be used.
That works with the Apple products.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And the licensing fee, according to what he told me, is $2,000 per channel.
Oh,
And he
my
has lots of
goodness.
channels, or $5,000 unlimited. So he's trying to get the $5,000
yeah,
together
that's a good idea.
to get
Well,
the Flash licensing rights.
if he
And,
doesn't, then maybe we can talk to him about maybe splitting the cost somehow or something.
yeah,
If we get
I
advertisers,
kind of
it'll
mentioned
be
some of the
worth
other
it.
stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's not Apple friendly right now, because they're using a old Silverlight from Microsoft, which is not even supported anymore. So that's the last upgrade he needs, and then we'll be able to go to iPhones, iPads, Apple computers, and everything else. So, and now I'm going to minimize. Any luck, Bruno? Probably not. So, and Bruno is a techie too.
Yeah, I mean, he
So,
knows
I'm
what he's
surprised.
talking about, so maybe.
Well, most of the time.
Oh, please don't knock him out of the ballpark now.
I gotta be
His
careful.
computer just might be different than yours.
I have an appointment with him on Friday, so I got to be careful. All right. So other than that, that was our Saturday. We got home about 10.
He just said double click work. Yay!
Bruno, really?
Thank you.
Really, dude?
Hey, quit. Be nice.
I love Bruno.
Be nice.
I love Bruno.
Be nice.
He's a great guy.
I know, but don't tease him.
Why not?
Just because
He makes fun of me.
Just because he may have
Okay,
misoperated.
never mind.
It's okay.
Okay, so anyway,
We love him.
we got home about 10:30 from the Riviera, having a very nice evening. There goes that cockroach again.
Which reminds me, will you please let the landlord know to fix
I
our
did.
sink so we can start using
She
that
gave
bathroom?
me the number to the plumber directly. He has the cabinet.
No.
Yeah, and he says, "Oh, they've been trying to contact you." I said,
Oh,
"Dude,"
whatever.
said, "You know what hours we're here, and we've gotten no messages from him." So I said, "Here's his direct phone number." So I'll do that this afternoon. So anyway, so we got home. We finally got to bed about 2-ish. Don't know how the hell we did that when we got home so early. And I got about 3 hours sleep because I had to go to Santa Rosa early for our baseball tryouts.
Yeah, lucky boy.
And we picked a gentleman. I won't put his name on the air without his permission. He's 66 years old. Hasn't played baseball for about 10 years. However, the man is in just the best shape I've seen of a 66-year-old man. Hopefully, I'm in that shape in 3 years. He's a surfer, and he's still surfing, and he's still working. So, I think he's going to be a good bench player for us and get used to the game again. And
I'm happy. Your team this year seems so great, and Carlos is on it.
Carlos, yep. Those who know
Man.
Carlos, he has joined the team this year, and we went to the batting cages after the tryouts, and we went into the 55-mile-an-hour cage. And I thought, that's a piece of cake. Unfortunately, I forgot that the distance at 55 miles an hour is different than a regular pitching. distance. And those balls were coming in awfully fast, and I started finally getting my timing. But the pitching arm was coming from underneath instead of overhead, so it was very difficult to pick up the ball upon its release. So you couldn't stride into it. You were just almost swinging flat-footed. But Carlos, after the first couple of coins, actually started making contact with the ball. He actually had a couple of rips up the middle. So you can tell the man has talent. And if he's listening, Carlos, kudos to you, because I know how hard it is to hit a ball after X amount of years. And so Carlos, what did Bruno say?
Peter, you're the one using Silverlight. Seriously. Who uses Silverlight?
It's not under my control, Bruno, all right?
Yeah,
Get
really.
over
It's
it.
our hosting server that uses it. We
Now-
have no control over
Now,
that.
I'll tell you,
I
Bruno.
wish.
Okay, Bruno, since you want to start fighting here, if you want to pay for
No,
us
you
changing...
started it by calling him out.
Okay, if you want to change our streaming channel to something better...
Yeah, we're looking. We're not saying we're looking, but it would be good to have a backup in case things like this happen
Well,
again.
we can stream through YouTube. Now that we have the proper configuration, we might be able to do it. But,
Okay.
you know, streaming channels otherwise are extremely expensive. So, Bruno, if you want to
Yeah.
ante up, because I know how much money you really make. So, anyway, back to baseball.
That's how he can afford to be a city council
That's
person.
right. That's a good point. Anyway, so we're excited about our team this year. We have just found out we have a practice game on Saturday.
Uh-oh.
Well, you do your TV show, so.
Yeah. Well, my radio show.
Yeah, sorry.
It's actually-
And so we do have a good team. And as everyone that is committed to play actually does play this year, we're going to be very competitive. Unfortunately, it appears that every other team has improved also, so it'll be good. By the way, you remember Larry Hendrickson? He's the ex-pro pitcher for the Silver Sox.
Yes.
I've mentioned him several times
Yes.
on the air here. He came up to me during the tryouts, and I asked him, "Hey, you doing, Larry? What's up? How's your back?" He said, "Man, I don't know. We need a pitcher badly." And I'm like, "Excuse me? You pitch every inning of every game during the whole year. You don't need pitching." He said, "Well, Glenn's not coming back this year, and Glenn's another quality player on that team." And I said, "Why do you need pitching?" He said, "Well, I'm getting older. I don't want to pitch every single inning, and I can't pitch back-to-back games in a doubleheader." So I jokingly said, "Well, I tell you what, why don't you trade for me?" And I said, just give the Seals 4 or 5 really good players, and I'll come and join you. And he said, "Seriously?"
Really?
And I said, "Well, this team needs help." So I said, "Call Sammy," who's my co-manager. So I doubt that's going to happen, but he said, "I need another good pitcher."
Seriously?
Yeah.
So you could be managing one team and pitching on another? That's something
Uh,
about
something
conflict of interest.
Yeah. And then I mentioned, he said, "Well, you're going to join us for the World Series this year." And I said, Larry, let me be honest with you.
Good. I'm
And-
glad you told him.
And it's between you and me,
Yeah.
and obviously the audience here.
Right.
I said I was very disappointed, both with the 55 and over and the 60 over teams, because I got very minimal playing time.
Yeah.
And
that
I
was
very
a waste of your time
yeah,
and money.
and I was upset because my stats last year were pretty darn good. I was up in the top 3, and I thought I'd get a little bit more respect in regards
That was
to
disappointing.
being one of the other starters or long relievers, and the 2 or 3 guys that pitched more than I did lost all the games, gave up a lot of runs, and I just felt that it wasn't worthwhile. And I just told him, I can go play for my old team. We may not win a lot, but we sure have a lot of fun. So he said, "Oh,
Well, that's the point. Yeah. And those guys like on the what are they called? The senior moments guys that you used to play with?
the Snowbirds."
Snowbirds, yeah. You're such a nice bunch
They
of
are,
people.
and
they really appreciate you.
yeah, we
so-
have the coach is Norm, and he's from Toronto, Canada.
Oh, that
Don't
already
don't ask me what
strikes
Canucks
against
know
him.
about baseball, but he is a baseball fanatic, and his attitude is, "Hey, if you come, you're going to play every inning or bat automatically. You're going to play a lot of innings. If you don't, that's cool. We'll still gonna be out there playing." And the team I won the World Series for last year did not field a team, so that was kind of disappointing because we had
Yeah.
a hell of a team there. So
Yeah.
anyway. So baseball season starts April 12th. I got an exhibition game Saturday. I'll have one other game before the season starts, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. So I'll be giving updates every week on the game, and we'll go from there. So,
Excellent.
okay. For those of you who did not know, the Board of Supervisors did not have a meeting on
Earning their keep
Tuesday.
as usual.
That was their extra week off during the course of a month. I thought it would be at the end of the month, but they just chose to have it during
I guess
the
they can
middle
just pick
of
a
the month.
random week.
And honestly, the last two meetings they've had, it was very mundane, day-to-day work. They have no, they had to perform like approving minutes, approving staff do certain things, but it wasn't anything major. I guess the cannabis issue is over now, so they have nothing really to talk about.
Well, they did have a little activity, at least Anthony Farrington did.
Yeah, I was
I'd
gonna
like to
mention that.
talk
Go ahead.
about the
Go ahead.
workshop that he attended.
Can I finish my sandwich
Yes.
while you're talking?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. So he attended a workshop on crafting unified stance on cannabis legalization, and it was sponsored by Humboldt County 3rd District Supervisor Mark Lovelace, who is my Facebook friend.
Lovelace?
Yes.
Interesting.
And 2nd District Supervisor and Board Chairwoman Estelle Fennell of Humboldt County. And they attended this summit. I guess it was held in Sonoma last Thursday with representatives from 5 other counties, including our own Anthony Farrington, to discuss the potential legalization of recreational use of cannabis. The discussion from the meeting will be used to draft a uniform policy statement for the northern region on potential statewide regulations. So this is really important because when 2016 rolls around and whatever bill happens to be on there that the people vote in for legalization, they're going to have certain standardized regulations established. And I had a chat with Anthony about that afterwards, and he basically said that they're really looking to the future, trying to prepare for this because it is going to be a major influence on our future when cannabis becomes legalized. So I think that that at least he is receptive to looking at cannabis as an industry. He's also, interested in creating laws that are compassionate. He told me that there's probably no chance that Measure N is going to be adjusted anytime before 2016.
Gee, what a shock.
But that after 2016, they have to revisit the entire concept, I think, and really look at this from a more economic perspective.
Well,
And he was very impressed with what's going on in Colorado.
yes, he was.
And he really was taken by the idea of a tourism industry based on bus trips that go to different places to sample different types of cannabis and dispensaries and different, they have little, clubs, private clubs and that kind of thing that people can go to. So we really need to take a lesson from what's going on in Colorado
Yep.
and think about the future and realize that legalization is around. They also discussed environmental regulations, revenue for local and state governments, local control and public safety, and of course the economics, with representatives breaking into groups to vet each one to see if some common ground could be attained. A Colorado County Council also gave a presentation on what issues and successes his county and others have had to deal with his state legalized marijuana in 2012. So it was they came to some general agreements, such as that local governments should maintain control of the scale of cultivation that best fits for each area, as well as allowing counties to have their own excise taxes, which is fantastic. Mendocino County staff is set to draft the policy statement using the results of Thursday's summit and send it to each county's board of supervisors for consideration. In the photo, it looks like I see Alan Flores back there. Let me show
Really?
you. Yeah, try and click it. No. Is that him back there? Kind of looks like him.
Kind of sort of, but it's hard
It's
to tell.
far away.
Yeah.
But I know he's with Mendocino now, so
Well,
it could very well be him.
I understand that the cities or counties should have some control over the number of plants to grow and where, but there has to be some type of requirements
There has to be
or
regulations.
regulations
I
to ensure
agree.
that
And
the
there
cities,
should also be an income stream created.
Oh, of course.
Because
But,
the people growing are making money, and the people that run our government should get a piece
Right.
of that action.
well, again, I'm going to emphasize this among those who happen to participate in growing, is that there's a right way and wrong way to go about this. And if you are growing as a collective, you need to understand the state laws regarding how you're supposed to operate. And that would take a lot of the concerns by government, I
If
think.
people were just considerate of their neighbors, I think we wouldn't be sitting in the position
That's
we
true,
are
too.
right now with Zero Grow. Okay, so Lovelace said that with at least 5 bills directly addressing medical marijuana currently up for the state legislature's consideration, the state is now moving towards adopting what he said is a long overdue set of regulations, which could later translate over to recreational use. This is what I've been saying all along. Get it together, folks. Figure out what's for the future and build something now that will be usable when it does come down to that.
Very sad.
Right.
Okay, nice kitty cat.
Yeah.
I miss Flash being here.
I know. Well, we have to get Saya down here. Then we'll
Yeah.
have a office cat.
Yeah. For those of you who saw our recording last week, we had our black and white kitty cat named Flash here because we had to take him to the vet right after the show. And he was just literally sitting right here in between the two of us, just having a ball, just kicking back, being with his owner/parents, and just enjoying being
He was really
outside.
cool. I
He
mean, that
was.
cat did not get upset at all.
No.
Most cats, you move them around, they're all freaked out. They hide for days.
No, he is 18 years old.
Yeah, I guess he's a
Yeah,
trooper.
so, and so it was nice to have him here. But back to the marijuana issue. It's the Cory Booker, who's now a senator representing
Oh,
the
let me see
state
if I can find
of
that story.
New Jersey. He's the former governor, and when the seat opened up during his term, he chose to be the replacement for the prior senator, and he introduced a bill in the Senate to basically declassify marijuana, lowering it from a class 1 narcotic. And I think, and I have not read the bill personally, that I believe he wants to, that would be the worst case scenario, and I think he actually wants to legalize it throughout the United States, obviously.
Yeah, federally legalizing,
Right.
which will completely be a game changer in California, of course.
Of course.
So
So it's
it'll be
interesting.
interesting to see how this all pans
Right,
out.
and it is interesting how the states are moving forward, but now I think the federal government is realizing that it's something they have to contend with. And the first action they took, and we've talked about this on the show, is that in this year's fiscal budget for the federal government, they stipulated the DEA and the DOJ could not receive any funding at all for the prosecution of cannabis crimes in the states where medicinal marijuana or the legalization of marijuana existed. So for our state, DEA and DOJ cannot enforce federal law in regards to normal grows and dispensaries. Now, obviously, if you're growing 1,000 plants, that might be a little bit different. But
Right.
if you're following state law, they're going to leave you alone because they don't have the money.
Exactly.
So you
So
can
it's going to be an interesting future, folks. And to all of you haters out there that think cannabis is the worst thing that ever happened to the world, you need to wake up and smell the coffee. It's here to stay, and there is nothing you can do about it.
Speaking of coffee,
And talking about that, I want to also go into the whole issue with this cannabis issue in Clear Lake.
you want to start that now? And if Dr.
I
Z
think
comes
so,
in, then
yeah.
we can continue it afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get into that.
Let's do it because I'm very much involved in this discussion, which is unusual.
This is the petition that has been distributed throughout Clear Lake as of yesterday. 15 stores have this petition in it, and I'm going to read the list for you in a minute. There's 42 signatures available on each petition. So far, as far as I know, we have at least 4 to 5 books finished, and you can do the math on that. 4 to 5 books at 42 signatures each. Let's say 5 books. 5 times 4 is 200.
Right.
So
5
probably
times 4 is
250.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close to 250 signatures already. We only need 660 odd
And actually
signatures.
in less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. Okay, so this is rolling like wildfire. If you want to sign a petition, there is a page on Facebook called Sick Lives Matter. It gives you a listing of all the locations where they are. I will also read them off in a minute. And I would also like to, let everybody know if you want a petition book. Some of the dispensaries have extras. If you do not have a card or do not want to go into a dispensary, you can contact us here in Lower Lake. We're at 9800 Highway 53, Suite E, and you can pick up a copy of your of this here. You must be a registered voter, registered in Clear Lake. And if you do not have a voter's registration card, you could go down to the post office and pick up one of these. And you keep the bottom piece as a receipt, and you fold it in half, and you put a little tape on it to keep it shut, and you mail it to the Board of Elections in Clear Lake, or take it down to Lakeport to the second floor, and you can drop it off in the elections office there. And once you sign this and drop it in the mail, you're registered legally. So you can sign the petition at that point. But even if you're a registered voter and you live in Clear Lake, but you're not registered in Clear Lake, you will not be able to sign this. So you need to make sure that your voter's registration is registered in the city of Clear Lake.
Right. Before we continue, a lot
Yes.
of people may have not seen our recorded shows from the last few weeks. Can we
Okay.
just kind of go
Well, I
very
want to
briefly?
finish with this. I'm not quite done yet. I need to read the list of locations where people can find the
Fine.
petition. Don't jump me on.
I'm not.
Okay,
It's your
so
show.
let me. It's not my show. It's our show, but we need to do things in order, dear. Let me pull up my list so I don't make any mistakes. I'm pretty sure I got it all inclusive.
You don't make
There was
mistakes.
a lot of people we went to see yesterday. And I have to say, we only got turned down by one business. And oddly enough, it was a business whose husband, the woman's husband, had been using the oil for his leukemia before he passed away. So I don't understand the logic there, but it's the way it is. And
It is what it is.
it is what it is. So, locations that you can get your petition or sign the petition. The locations of the three dispensaries: D&M Compassion Center, they're on Olympic Drive, kind of cat a corner from the post office. Lakeside Herbal Solutions, they're located on Mullen, just up the street and across the way from Jerry Spittler's girlfriend's place. Triple C Collective, they're on Lakeshore Drive, located over at the Sydney's singing along with the phone.
Yes.
Triple C Collective, located on Lakeshore Drive, across from, next to Spinks Urban Wear, and down the street from Smoke on the Water. Also, Girlfriend Salon, which is on Mullen, also in Lakeshore Drive. Hair by Ms. C, also on Lakeshore Drive. And Linda's Place, also on Lakeshore Drive. The Hobby Shop in the Mini Mall there, over next door to the police department in the City Hall Plaza. The Radio Shack on Olympic, Campos Casuals, they're the new store located right next to Grocery Outlet on Olympic
It was
in
nice
the
to
Burns
see
Valley
them
Mall.
here.
Huh?
It's nice to see them here.
Oh, we love them. I'm so happy they're in town. I mean, I know there's some of our other friends that sell clothing, but they carry stuff nobody else has, so it's a nice store and their prices are good.
Like
But
biker
enough with the
gear.
commercials.
Okay.
NorCal Garden Supply, Smoke on the Water, and they're located on Lakeshore. NorCal Garden is just as you come into Clear Lake on Lakeshore. It's that little garden place that sits down in the little valley there. It's had several name changes over the years, but it's called NorCal Garden Supply now. And Zephyr Zen Antiques on Lakeshore Drive, Sphinx Urbanware on Lakeshore Drive, and A&T Tobacco. And there will be more locations. That was one day, folks. Those petitions were distributed out in one day to over 15 locations. I just think that's amazing.
It is.
Shows so much support for this.
Well, there has been a lot of support.
And all the petition says is, per Elections Code Section 9237, we the undersigned, being not less than 10% of the voters of the city of Clear Lake, according to the county election official's last official report of registration to the Secretary of State, hereby present this petition protesting the adoption by the City Council of the City of Clear Lake of ordinance number 173-2105 entitled An Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Clear Lake, California, amending Chapter X of the Clear Lake Municipal Code, adding sections 10-8, abatement of public nuisances, and 10-9, administrative penalties, and repealing and replacing section 10-7, medical marijuana cultivation, to ban the cultivation of medical marijuana. We request that the legislative acts contained in said ordinance as defined by law be entirely repealed by the City Council or otherwise be submitted to a vote of the people pursuant to the provisions of California Elections Code Section 9241. Per Elections Code 9238, the title and text of the ordinance is set forth on the pages attached hereto, and then there's a copy of the ordinance. So every page says exactly the same thing, and then the ordinance is in the back. And the worst thing about this ordinance,